The playroom was a kaleidoscope of colors. Toys peeked from every corner. Building blocks stood tall and proud. Stuffed animals smiled from their shelves. A big, bright box of clay sat in the middle of the room, just waiting for someone to play with it.
Mia and Jake loved to play in their playroom. It was their favorite place in the whole house, filled with colorful toys, books, and endless possibilities. Every day, they would come up with new adventures and games to play. Mia, with her bright, curious eyes, loved building things. She could spend hours constructing towers, bridges, and even tiny cities with her blocks. Her imagination knew no bounds, and she always had a new idea for what to build next.
Jake, with his wild and imaginative spirit, loved to tell stories. He would gather all his toys and create epic tales of heroes, villains, and magical lands. His stories were so vivid that Mia could almost see the characters come to life. "Let's build a magical kingdom," Jake announced, his eyes sparkling with excitement. He had been thinking about it all morning and couldn't wait to get started. He imagined castles, dragons, and knights in shining armor.
Yes! Mia clapped her hands, thrilled by the idea. With castles and dragons and everything, she could already picture the grand towers and the fierce dragons they would create together. It was going to be their best adventure yet.
Mia and Jake got to work. They built towering castles with the building blocks. They sculpted fearsome dragons and friendly unicorns out of clay. Every creation was more fantastic than the last. As they built, their imaginations soared, filling the room with magic.
Suddenly, the room began to shimmer. The walls glowed with a soft, enchanting light, and the air was filled with a sense of wonder. The children looked around in amazement, their eyes wide with excitement.
The toys around them started to move. Teddy bears danced, toy cars zoomed around, and dolls waved their tiny hands. The children couldn't believe their eyes as their beloved toys came to life right before them.
The clay dragon spread its wings and roared. It was a magnificent sight, with its scales shimmering in the magical light. The children cheered and clapped, thrilled by the dragon's lifelike movements.
The unicorn trotted forward, its horn glowing. Wow! Its mane sparkled with every step, and the children reached out to touch its soft, magical fur. They were in awe of the unicorn's beauty and grace.
"Let's go on an adventure!" the children shouted with glee, ready to explore this newfound magical world. They held hands and took their first steps into the unknown, their hearts filled with excitement and curiosity.
And with that, they were whisked away to the magical kingdom they had created. The playroom transformed into a fantastical land, with castles, forests, and rivers. The children embarked on an unforgettable journey, filled with wonder and adventure.
Mia and Jake spent the afternoon on an amazing adventure. They had been planning this day for weeks, gathering all their favorite toys and creating a fantastical world where anything was possible. The playroom was their kingdom, and they were the brave explorers ready to uncover its secrets.
They flew with the dragon, rode the unicorn, and imagined themselves soaring through the skies on magical creatures. The dragon's wings flapped mightily, and the unicorn's hooves sparkled with every step. They felt the wind in their hair, and the thrill of adventure in their hearts, and even fought a mischievous goblin made of building blocks. The goblin was tricky, always hiding behind towers of blocks and jumping out to surprise them. But Mia and Jake were clever and brave, using their wits and teamwork to outsmart the goblin and save their kingdom.
They searched high and low for the kingdom's hidden treasure. Every corner of the playroom held a new clue, a new mystery to solve. They lifted cushions, peeked under tables, and even crawled through tunnels made of blankets. Their excitement grew with every discovery, their imaginations painting vivid pictures of what the treasure might be.
Finally, they found it. A beautiful, shining chest filled with nothing. But where's the treasure? They looked at each other, puzzled. Had they missed something? Was there another clue they hadn't found? The empty chest seemed to mock them, but they didn't give up. They knew the adventure wasn't over yet.
"Mia, we already found it!" Jake exclaimed, his eyes shining with realization. The real treasure wasn't gold or jewels, it was something far more precious. The real treasure was using our imaginations and creating this magical world together. Mia's face lit up with understanding. They had created a world where dragons flew, unicorns galloped, and goblins played tricks. They had shared laughter, solved puzzles, and made memories that would last a lifetime.
And he was right. The joy they felt, the adventures they had, and the bond they shared were the true treasures. They didn't need a chest of gold to feel rich. Their imaginations had given them something far more valuable. Mia and Jake returned to their playroom, tired but happy, their hearts full of the joy of creation. They knew that they could return to their magical kingdom any time they wanted, simply by using their imaginations. The playroom was their canvas, and their minds were the paintbrushes that brought it to life.
From that day on, Mia and Jake knew that the most incredible adventures could be found within their own imaginations. And so can you. Every toy, every game, every story you create is a new adventure waiting to happen. The possibilities are endless, and the only limit is your imagination. So grab your toys, let your imagination run wild, and see what magical worlds you can create. Whether you're flying with dragons, riding unicorns, or battling goblins, remember that the real treasure is the joy and creativity you bring to your play. Happy adventuring!